All right, what's going on, man? As you guys can see, a little bit fucking hectic right now. As you guys know, I love doing these mock drafts. I love running up these mock drafts, but Underdog gives you literally 60 seconds from the time of the start. As you guys can see, I literally just got out the shower, just had to freaking brush my teeth real quick, make sure I don't get that stink breath into the fucking mic. We're grinding this morning, fellas. We are grinding. I had to kick it off in this little best ball draft here on Underdog. Here's what you guys missed. We had McCaffrey go, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry. I went with Saquon Barkley. It feels like I've taken Saquon Barkley in every single one of these things. But with Drew Brees gone, and Marlon Mack resigning is not really a huge deal, but between Saquon Barkley and Jonathan Taylor, I just personally would prefer Saquon Barkley. I don't know why he keeps falling. To me, I think that he's probably the consensus number 3 guy. I think for me in the top 2 tier, I'll have like McCaffrey, Saquon, and Dalvin Cook. And then like the next tier is Derrick Henry. So I'll take Saquon Barkley here all day. JT, Kamara, Aaron Jones. I'm starting to feel a little bit queasy about these running backs. I think A.J. Dillon's going to dig into here. I think that Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill is going to be very interesting in this spot with how that's going to affect Alvin Kamara. Travis Kelce, fine. I'm personally not a guy that ever wants to take a tight end in the first round. Nick Chubb, I don't feel great about either of those running backs in the first round. It's going to be really interesting. I haven't dug into my seasonal rankings yet. I'm still very much in Dynasty mode. Let me know if you guys want to see like, I don't know. I haven't felt the need to want to do a video like, top 12 running backs, top 12 wide receivers, like super early top 12 wide receivers. You know what I mean? I can go through my season, like not my actual seasonal rankings, but just like super way too early, like kind of where my head's at with these seasonal rankings. So let me know down below in the comments if that's what you want. Also, I haven't even had the chance to get like a proper intro out of my system. So if you're new here, welcome to the channel. This is kind of a general sports channel. We focus in on fantasy football. I'm Ron, a.k.a. Mr. Smooth, a.k.a. Smooth as Butter, a.k.a. Lisa Ann's Pool Boy. And we just have a goofy-ass time on here, fellas. So this is a best ball draft. Let me get into the format, I guess. So 0.5 PPR, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and 10 bench spots. Now, the way that this works, it's a fantasy football draft, but it's called best ball. So these are super fun to rattle off, $3 a piece. You hop in, you draft a team, never even have to set the lineup. It just sets the best lineup every single week, and whoever has the most points at the end of the season gets the prize pool. Once we start getting more people in the Discord, I'll start just like having best ball drafts where it's literally just me and you guys in a best ball draft, and then I'll upload that to YouTube. I just need more people in the Discord, and that's not really a statement towards people that are already in the Discord or people that are already subscribed to the channel. We're only at 500 subs, so we're not going to have a Discord that's going to have enough for me to have these drafts with you guys yet. But I'm trying to incorporate you guys. I just dropped a video where I had a rookie mock draft to people from the Discord, so make sure you go down below. In the description, it's literally like the first link in there. Join the Discord, man. I answer trade questions in there, trade advice, your dynasty questions, seasonal questions. If you want to be involved in videos, if you want to be in subscriber leagues, anything like that, it's all down below in the Discord. Now let's really focus in on what's going on here because I really like doing these drafts to kind of just get a pulse on what's going on in the fantasy space. And it's going to be really interesting to take a look at this kind of stuff in the midst of free agency. You know, I kind of want to just hop on, and it was an excuse to talk about some free agents and kind of the moves that have been going on, but also talk about how that impacts ADP in real time. So we had Ezekiel Elliott go, Dobbins, Gibson, Akers, Hopkins, and we're on the fucking clock. And I haven't even really been looking at who's available. Man, I would have liked to take A.J. Brown there. So all the wide receivers that I'm interested in are gone. Mixon, Darren Waller, George Kittle. Why not go... I would like to go Darren Waller if I can. Yes, okay. Now, I'm not usually the kind of guy to do that. I don't mind, though, taking a tight end early in best ball because it's much easier in a seasonal league when you can like access the waiver wire to stream tight ends. It's kind of difficult to stream tight ends in a best ball. You can just get like 3 or 4 flyers that you like, but it's tough, man. Tight ends get hurt all the time. Tight ends bust all the time. You know, if you went last year with like Blake Jarwin, Chris Herndon, and Jonnu Smith, you're taking zeros a couple of those weeks, you know? Even though I love Jonnu Smith, it's just like, it's tough to stream, to go late round tight end in best ball drafts. Now, this would have been a spot I actually would have really liked to take A.J. Brown, but just couldn't happen. He went in front of me. I think A.J. Brown's going to be somebody. I've been talking with a friend of mine. Off the top of my head right now of receivers I'd rather have than A.J. Brown. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Diggs. And I think that's literally end of list. I'm not sure I'd rather have D-Hop. Because you guys are going to hear from me all offseason with A.J. Brown. I'm really starting to get into it. A.J. Brown's my number one Dynasty wide receiver. You can also find those rankings in the description. Man, I gotta stop rambling when we're literally on the clock and a couple picks. This draft has been very weird. I went running back, tight end. I usually like to just hammer off a bunch of running backs. I don't really want to do that in this one. Unless if you're going to give me Miles Sanders. If Miles Sanders is going to be here on the board for me, then I'll probably go Miles Sanders. But DK Metcalf, I'm just not that interested in DK Metcalf in seasonal leagues. If you're going to make me draft him as a wide receiver, like a top 8 wide receiver, you're going to give me a shot at Miles Sanders here? Oh, man, Michael Thomas is very interesting, too. If you're going to give me Michael Thomas in round 3, I have a hard time saying no. Because I actually think that Michael Thomas is somebody that I would consider having above A.J. Brown, because I think if I was to bet my money on it, I think Jameis Winston is going to start most of the season for the Saints. So give me any receiver in that offense that has Jameis Winston, because where Jameis Winston goes just pours out fantasy points. He's just a I don't give a fuck type of quarterback. He's going to air it out. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to cause garbage time. It's going to be you could make a case that Jameis Winston is better for Michael Thomas in fantasy than Drew Brees, but I would just say that it's probably a wash. I would say maybe like last year's Drew Brees. It's just tough because I'm not sure you have his like 140 something catch season without Drew Brees that one year. So the catching upside, but then like the yards and touchdown upside is way higher with Jameis Winston. And I think Michael Thomas plays a lot in the slot. I could be wrong. I do believe that he plays a lot in the slot. And that's kind of the similar role that Godwin was in when he broke out all over the place with Jameis Winston. So if we can have that Jameis Winston like 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 25 interception season, looking beautiful for Mike Thomas. I think Michael Thomas is going to be a really big value this year, but I do think I do see it correcting by the time we get to August. But that's why we run up these drafts. We have fun. We exploit kind of the marks, if you will, just kind of players that aren't too sharp. I will say though, I was really hoping that David Montgomery ended up with like a ADP around here. People are just too smart, man. Like David Montgomery, the 310 is actually probably a decent value. I probably won't have him on a lot of teams, but I don't hate that value at all. I will say that much. So here's our squad: Saquon, Darren Waller, Michael Thomas. I don't usually go super balanced like this, but that's where we're at. I didn't feel like hammering running back for like usually I'll do something like this, like these two guys, but why not just switch things up? You guys don't want to watch the same mock draft or the same best ball draft over and over again. I think I'll go with this view until we're on the clock, because I think that's just kind of a gas view. Allen Robinson, you really hate to see it. I really hope that he gets traded. I don't know. I can't remember the last game that was tagged and traded, even though that is like an option. It's not looking great though. Now CeeDee Lamb is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th wide receiver off the board. CeeDee Lamb. It's pretty insane for second wide receiver to be the wide receiver 13. I think personally that he's going to be the wide receiver, like a top 15 wide receiver for me as well. He was literally like a top 12 guy through the first 4 or 5 weeks that Dak was healthy. Wow, he went ahead of Amari Cooper. Will I have CeeDee Lamb ahead of Amari Cooper in my rankings come August? I'm going to say probably not. That's my first answer. I'm going to say probably not. Now, I love DJ Moore in this spot. You're getting DJ Moore at prices that you were getting him for when he was a second-year breakout. So DJ Moore, I really like him as a value guy. So, I mean, what are we working with here? I'm really interested to know where ETN went. Has he gone yet? ETN still on the board? Wow. Am I up anywhere anytime soon? Can ETN fall to us? I highly doubt it. Man, I mean, okay, so now let's kind of queue up who we might be going with here. I think I'm going to be a lot higher on Kenny Golladay than a lot of people, though, to be honest with you. I just don't see why everyone's really is so ready to be off Kenny Golladay. I love him though. He was like my wide receiver 7 heading into 2020, and he only sucked because he got hurt. So I'm just willing to kind of throw things away because it was an injury thing, not because it was a skill thing. I think he's still as good, if not better. And now he's a free agent. He's going to go somewhere else. But that's kind of the weird aspect with this. Wow. Oh, ETN went right before us. Yo, y'all want to get weird real quick? I feel like this is kind of a value for Mahomes. What, if he usually goes at 36.7 and we're at the fourth round is 36, 1, 2, 3, that's 36 picks. Fuck, we're going Mahomes. Very balanced look from us. I'll be honest with you guys, I never run a draft like this. Well, like running back, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback. That'll never be me. Most of the time that's running back, wide receiver. But hey, man. You only live once. And I think that saying is very corny. But Lil Baby said YOLO in one of his songs. So now I think YOLO is kind of back. That's my hot take for the day. I don't think it's cringe to say YOLO anymore. But it's a pretty tough look. I will say, though, DJ Moore over Godwin is kind of egregious in my humble opinion. That's fine. I also really like Terry McLaurin's value now that he has Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I will say I'm kind of scared that he's going to like just automatically get that kind of bump, not in like an early best ball draft, but he might start getting pushed up. Like there's a lot of guys that I love or that I really loved last year that I know will no longer be values. Like Jefferson, you're getting 0 value by getting him at wide receiver 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, wide receiver 6. Calvin Ridley at wide receiver 7. I literally loved Calvin Ridley last year. I wrote articles on him. I fucking sucked his schlong all across my Twitter timeline, and it panned out. But buying him at wide receiver 7 price, it's tough. Michael Thomas, though. Buying Michael Thomas at wide receiver 8 price, I really like that. Metcalf at 9, don't really love that. Keenan Allen at 10, hate that. Even though I love Justin Herbert, I love the scheme that Keenan Allen is in. I think drafting him at wide receiver 10 is tough for me. But, I mean, it's like, who else is going to be in there? I mean, would I rather have Allen Robinson than Keenan Allen? With the Andy Dalton news, I don't know. McLaurin, I think I'd rather have than Keenan Allen. Thielen or Keenan Allen? And now we're on the clock. I got to stop bullshitting when we're about to be on the clock. That's really the big thing. So, Ayuk, I'm looking at, I should really probably get a running back here. All of these guys suck, though. Oh, boy. We're going to take a wide receiver. We're going to go Claypool. Yeah, let's go Claypool. I think Claypool's a fun, high upside guy, even though I might prefer Ayuk in seasonal thinking back on it, but probably not. Yeah, I don't know. I do really like Ayuk. I was a huge Deontay Johnson guy last year. I think I'm starting to kind of not really like Deontay. Wow, I would have loved Javonte Williams at the 504. That would have been huge. What does he have cooking here? It's a solid team, bud. Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson. Did Cooper Kupp do anything last year? Can I take a look at that? I'm not sure that I can. So Ayuk goes here. Kyler Murray goes. So what happened? So this CeeDee Lamb pick came back around. I'm imagining. Wait, am I an idiot? Yeah. Okay. So Cooper, Thielen, Josh Allen is the QB2. Josh Allen is the consensus QB2. Not sure how I feel about that. I do really like Josh Allen. Would I rather have Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? I'll say Josh Allen. Now, like I said before, I definitely have Kenny Golladay over all of these guys, but I do think like Kenny Golladay is being able to put Kenny, like now we're in the 5th round, so these are all guys that are going to be going in your flex spot unless if you took a QB. All right, so he took a QB. So now Kenny Galladay's his wide receiver 1. But the fact that you can roll out Kenny Golladay as your flex man, drafts are deep this year, man. Like Kenny Golladay as a flex is wild. I think T. Higgins as a flex is wild. This guy's going T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson. I don't hate that. I think that, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about Kareem Hunt this year. I know that he did great even with Nick Chubb. I guess because of that, I guess I'll buy into Kareem Hunt. But man, like getting him at like I guess round 4 is like low end running back 2 price. That's not awful. Would I rather have Kareem Hunt or Javonte Williams without knowing a landing spot or draft capital? I think in a best ball I would just swing on the upside with Javonte Williams. Now that I think about it, has Laviska, so DJ Chark went ahead of Laviska Shenault. I think the Jaguars just brought in a wide receiver that I was not happy about. Oh, Marvin Jones. That's such a weird receiver for them to bring in, dude. A really weird receiver for them to bring in because he's like a veteran guy that plays on the perimeter. Unless if they shove, I mean, did Laviska Shenault play on the inside last year? I feel like he might have played some slot snaps, but if I was to guess, like I would say their slot guy was probably Keelan Cole. 12. All right, so I'm 12 picks away. I feel like that's not true. Right? Am I an idiot? No, I'm 3 picks away. I don't know why it says 12 up here. So Chris Carson, we still don't know his landing spot. I think 6th round for Chris Carson at this point is very good value because he could easily just end up in a spot where he's the guy. He could even maybe re-sign him with Seattle. I kind of doubt it. I would like to see Seattle. I would like to see Seattle go away from the run game, but it'll never happen. If Seattle just came out and said we're going to hire like Jack DiFilippo and air the shit out of the football, I would have DK Metcalf as like a top 5 guy. I really do like DK Metcalf. I think that it's just a shitty situation on a team that just like loves to force the run for no reason. Now let's take a look at some of these ADPs. All right, so we got Juju. There's some news buzzing right now that Juju might be coming to the Jets. Juju, come through, bro. Very interesting that Juju and Will Fuller are right next to each other in ADP. I want none of these running backs. Dude, I literally don't know what I'm going to do at running back. Like, I'm kind of stressing here. I think we're just going to hammer a bunch late. I think that's going to be the move for us. Now it comes down to Odell Beckham, Juju, Will Fuller. I'll go Will Fuller. I think in hindsight I probably go Odell Beckham there. But I kind of just like the upside of Will Fuller. I think that now this is a very strong wide receiver group. We're not going to take any more wide receivers. We'll see what we can do at running back. What we wrap back around at running back. Yep. We won't force one, but relative to ADP, we'll see what's bracking. Let me see. Let me look at the running backs that are available. Like, who are running backs here that I'm actually like somewhat interested in? I would be very interested in Tony Pollard. Be very interested in Gainwell. No longer interested in Dillon. I think Ronald Jones in like the 7th round. I guess I could do it. I think Chase Edmonds is interesting without the Cardinals actually investing anything in running back at this point. Although I do think that they probably bring back. I don't think Kenyon Drake's been signed back, but I could be wrong. Gaskin, I guess, is the lead guy at this point. Raheem Mostert is interesting. These are all somewhat interesting guys. Zach Moss Michael Carter is really interesting. I think I would take Michael Carter over a lot of those guys. Trey Sermon, very interesting. So we'll kind of just take out the duct tape and band-aid together ourselves in running back corps. I've never obviously I have done a draft like this because I've done so many drafts that I have just pretty much drafted every kind of team through my experience as a fantasy footballer savant, connoisseur, thought leader, philanthropist, you know. But in terms of these best ball, like this series that I want to do, I'm pretty much going to do a series like this where I do some kind of mock draft like every single week from now until literally fantasy football season. Whether that's like NFL mock draft, rookie mock draft, best ball mock draft, seasonal mock draft, any of the above. Oh shit, we're back on the clock. AJ Dillon no longer is interesting to me. I don't love Ronald Jones, but I mean if Leonard Fournette is on the move, I do really like Keyshawn Vaughn, but I'm not sure Keyshawn Vaughn seizes that role right away. I think I'm gonna sneeze, fellas. Psych. All right, so now we're on the board. We need a running back. We are down tremendous at running back, and now he goes Ronald Jones. AJ Dillon. So 6 times 12 is like fucking like 48. I don't know. It becomes. I'm gonna go AJ Dillon. I think that at this point we're kind of getting AJ Dillon at a discount because of the Aaron Jones thing, which is all good and well, but Green Bay has showed that they're not going to just like, which is insane, that they just aren't just, Aaron Jones is our guy, let's feed him the ball, the guy is a stud, he has been a stud for the last 2-3 years. They refuse to just be like, all right, here is 70% plus of the workload. And now that Jamal Williams is out, if they don't bring anybody else in and it's literally just AJ Dillon behind him, I think that AJ Dillon could perform in a similar way, kind of in a similar way to like Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I could see it being that kind of thing where, not in terms of play styles, because I think that Aaron Jones is more the Kareem Hunt, but in terms of volume, I think it'll be a somewhat similar split to AJ Dillon or to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So at that point, in like the seventh round, Aaron Jones could get hurt, whatever. AJ Dillon probably have some blow up games. Probably will have some touchdown heavy games. He could be used at the goal line a little bit more than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones obviously has like a super high upside. He's going to catch all the footballs in the world, but I think AJ Dillon, if you're going to be able to get him in like the 7th, 8th, 9th round, I think he's going to be kind of the poster boy for zero RB. I might even call this draft. This draft is like kind of like modified zero RB, where you go RB in the first round and you just hammer anything else. In theory, you'd want to hammer wide receivers, which is what I would do in a normal seasonal league, but in best ball, like I said, you want everything to be pretty solid. I don't usually go this balanced. Like I'll usually just like you can't just do like what I do in a seasonal league is I'll wait until the double digit rounds to take quarterback, tight ends, right? Like 10 plus. In a best ball, you don't have to take an early quarterback like a Mahomes, but you do have to take a quarterback by like round 7 or 8, you can't just like stack up on positional guys. Now the ADP I'm very interested in I'm very interested in Jalen Hurts ADP. He's not quite the late round guy that he could be, but I mean still going around like round 8. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be one of my favorite late round quarterbacks this year. It really just depends on if you can get him early. I think Daniel Jones is also very interesting as like a late round guy, especially if they get Kenny Golladay. I would be so upset, man. I would be so upset. I want Kenny Golladay so bad for the Jets. And if we get Juju, like I said before, we got some Juju buzz right now, which I would love some Juju buzz. But to see the Giants fan base after they land like a huge wide receiver, like Kenny Golladay is, I mean, on PFF, he's like the number 4th best free agent. I just don't even want to deal with Giants media, Giants Twitter. Every single one of Schefter's things about a wide receiver going somewhere else, it's like, oh, big Giants W, like Kenny Golladay shit. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, dog. Like you get I don't know, man. I think it's just because I'm a New York Jets fan and I'm from this area. I just can't stand the vibes that they give off. That's all it comes down to. Wow, you can Noah Fant in like the 8th round. I'm always a guy that I never want to take a tight end inside of the top 10 rounds. I always want to wait until the double digits. And not in a best ball, but in terms of seasonal. I like looking at this for like ADP for when seasonal comes around in August and kind of really get a feel for where everybody's going. Like Noah Fant might be the exception to the rule, where I might bite on that in like the 8th, 9th rounds if he doesn't make it to the 10th, 11th, 12th. But who knows? Damn, I was going to say if Jalen Hurts is on the board for the 9th for my pick here, I might have just taken him. David Johnson, Devontae Smith, Jarvis Landry, Michael Gallup, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is going to be somebody that I fade hard in seasonal leagues this year. Damian Harris, Tony Pollard, Jeffrey Wilson. I think we're going to go Damian Harris. Yeah, why not? Let's go Damian Harris. So now we'll kind of stack up on wide receivers late. I kind of want to build like maybe 5-6 running backs deep. With Pat Mahomes, you honestly only need 2 QBs, and with Darren Waller, you probably only need 2 tight ends, maybe a third, but probably not. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Dallas Goedert, Logan Thomas. I think it's kind of suspect that Logan Thomas is so close to Goddard. I mean, how 140 to 93. So he did outscore Goddard, but Goddard was just sick last year when the games that he did play. It's a matter of him being healthy, I guess. So we have Logan Thomas, Devonta Smith. Man, would I rather have Devonta Smith or Michael Gallup in a seasonal league? I'm not sure personally. So Pittman, Curtis Samuel, now newly a Washington football team member. Who knows when they'll change that name to something that isn't racist. But I really like that fit, man. I really like that fit. I like I'm not a huge fan of Ron Rivera, but I kind of buy in ever so slightly to, oh, Jesus. Every time that I kind of want to get a take off of my damn chest, I'm back on the clock. Pollard, Gainwell, Wilson, Hines, Hubbard. I think Hubbard is very interesting here. I'm going to go Hubbard. Why not? Maybe he gets drafted in the second or third round after blazing his pro day. I can kind of talk myself into Chuba Hubbard having a role in 2021, especially as just like a back half guy. But here's my thing with Ron Rivera. Not a huge guy that I like Ron Rivera X's and O's. I don't think that he is a great personnel guy. I don't think that he is a great schemer. He's kind of cool as a locker room guy, but I kind of buy into the idea that he wants to kind of replicate his offense from the one that he had in Carolina, where he now has his Christian McCaffrey and Antonio Gibson. He literally has his Curtis Samuel that he brought over. Get Curtis Samuel with his high school buddy Terry McLaurin, and now you got you got Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Logan Thomas, Antonio Gibson, and you got Ryan Fitzpatrick just fucking giving you all the fantasy points in the world. I love all those guys for fantasy now, 100%. I fucking love all of them. Give me anybody on the Washington football team. Now, here's the other side of that, because I do believe that Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's just like Jameis Winston. He's perfect for fantasy football because he's going to have one of those, if he plays a 16-game season. He never does, but if he had played a 16-game season, he's a guy that can go for 4,000 to 5,000 yards and 20 to 30 touchdowns with 20 to 25 interceptions. And that's not huge for the win column, but in terms of fantasy, you're creating a lot of points scored, a lot of yards scored, and the points scored and the yards scored comes from the interceptions and the ability to say, fuck it, I'm going to throw this one deep. Now, a lot of quarterbacks are pussies when it comes to that, and that's fine. A lot of guys, they got families to go home to. They can't just go willy-nilly and throw 18-plus interceptions in a season. Fitzpatrick and Winston do not give a fuck. So when you're throwing those interceptions, you're now losing or at least getting behind in games where now you have pass-heavy, fantasy-heavy, offense-heavy game scripts. Because if you give a team a short field and they score instantly, now you have more time possession, you have more yards, you have more touchdowns, you have more, oh fuck, we're down 14, we have to bomb it deep to fucking Terry McLaurin and hope for the best. And when you get those kind of plays, it's just really good for fantasy. That's what we saw with the when Godwin went crazy in 2019. That was pretty much just because Ryan Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston were just going back and forth with starting duties, and Godwin was just going crazy, and Mike Evans was going crazy just because that's just kind of what happens when your QB is Ryan Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston. So Devontae Parker, I'm kind of out on Devontae Parker now that Tua is his quarterback, but I mean, you're kind of getting him as a late hype. What the fuck did I just do, fellas? And go back to the draft. So we got Waddle, Burrow, Irv Smith. It's an interesting name here. Oh, would I rather Irv Smith over Gesicki, Hunter? I'd rather him over Hunter Henry. I no longer want anything to do with any of those. Those New England tight ends will be on 0 of my teams, fellas. 0 of my teams. And don't get me wrong, I think that Jonnu and Hunter Henry are very talented tight ends and very good real football players. But when you have 2 elite tight ends on the same team, it's rarely happens where each of them become top 12 tight ends. And if they do, when you're swinging for these tight ends late, you don't want a top 12 tight end. The tight end 12 last year was trash. It's really only the tight ends that only matter. The tight ends that you can stick in your lineup and start every single week are the top 3 to 6 tight ends. And when you have another guy on that same team, it really limits your upside to hit top 3, top 6 tight end. Because if you don't hit top 3, top 6 tight end, then you're getting dropped, and you just keep filtering through until you hit a Robert Tonyan, a Darren Waller in 2019, something like that. So that's just my philosophy with it. So for that reason, I'm not taking any Hunter Henry, any Jonnu Smith. I would like Gesicki, though. I think Gesicki is very interesting, especially if Tua can take that second leap forward. You have Rager in the 10th round. Rager in the 10th round is going to be a very fun pick. I'm going to be really high on a lot of these second-year wide receivers. I'm going to be very high on Judy. I'm going to be very high on Mims. I'm going to be very high on Laviska Shenault. I'm going to be high on Rager. Probably not Pittman, though. Not a big Pittman fan. Wow, Rashad Bateman. I think I would take Rashad Bateman after, before Jalen Rager, though. In a seasonal, very tough to say. Now, Antonio Brown, if he goes like the right spot, he could be a guy that goes in like the top 7 rounds. All right, so now we're on the board. We now have more running backs and wide receivers. We're looking like we're kind of in a tough spot here. Darnell Mooney, Marvin Jones, Denzel Mims. I think we're going to go Jeffrey Wilson. We're going to go Jeffrey Wilson, lock up our last running back spot. Now we're good. Saquon Barkley, A.J. Dillon, Damian Harris, Chuba Hubbard, Jeffrey Wilson. Does it look good? Does it look pretty? Is it going to win the beauty contest or the beauty pageant? No. But can it win me a chip? Possibly. That is very rough, though. Like, Chuba Hubbard needs to go somewhere good. Damian Harris needs to Damian Harris pulled up in some spots last year. You kind of do hate to see Cam Newton come back because he does really dig into the rushing production. I love Cam Newton, but if he's going to rush for like 80-plus yards a game, then you're going to struggle to get a reliant fantasy running back. That's why I really don't want any of these top rookie running backs to go to Buffalo. Like, I love Travis Etienne, but if he went to Buffalo, I'd be pissed. Because I think when you have Josh Allen, a guy that runs the ball as much as he does, he is essentially like their goal line running back. You know, he gets the majority of the goal line touches. So if they take a running back, like let's say they take Najee Harris at 30th overall, he's going to go in. He's not going to have the same touchdown upside as everybody else. He's going to have like 4 to 5 touchdowns as his ceiling. And then he's also going to have to compete with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. And I don't think that either of those guys are super great players, but they're enough to the point where it's like now a committee. You're a lead of a committee with a low touchdown upside, and you're looking at like ceiling is like 1,000 scrimmage yards and 5 touchdowns, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all, but that's literally your ceiling until things change. And I think that a guy like Najee Harris, it's like a physical guy that wants to come to Buffalo, like a Najee Harris or even like a Chris Carson, which I know is a free agent, or a Javonte Williams. The best part of having a back like that is you can use him in short yard situation on the goal line, and Josh Allen eats all of those up. So for me, I'm just not super interested there. Now, I'd love to start taking wide receivers, but I think that we're going to sleep for a slightly bit longer. Damn, I would have taken Mike Gesicki if he didn't take him there. Matt Ryan. Let's just take... We'll sleep on quarterback a little bit longer. What else can we do? Cole Beasley, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Jones, Henry Ruggs, Denzel. We're going to go Mims. Mims all day, baby. Mims all day, baby. Especially with that Corey Davis signing. If they do get Juju, how do I feel about Mims? I still like him. Because I think it would suck a little bit for Mims, because I think that in 2 wide receiver sets it would be Juju and Corey Davis. But I think in 3 wide receiver sets that Juju would go into the slot and then Mims would be on the outside. And that's still not a lot of room for stuff. So, I mean, it depends on if Juju comes. But now you're getting like 11-round flyers. Denzel Mims is a guy that could really erupt in year 2, though. Like, we have to remember, like, the year 2 jumps that can happen are insane. Like, if you look at... Now we're going to get a little bit... We're in the deeper parts of these drafts, so... This is when we get a little bit weird with it. So, I mean, if you look at, like, Courtland Sutton's stats from, like, year 1 to year 2... Similar situation, the Broncos sucked both of those times. Yeah, he went from, like, 42,704 to 72,1,006. It's not as drastic as a change as I thought it was going to be honest with you guys, when I brought this in front of you. But yeah. I mean, it's still super solid. Still solid for sure, but I thought it was going to be a little bit better. Now, hey, who's trending on here? No, okay, whatever. Nobody really interesting. All right, so who just picked? Wow, Rashad Penny in the 11th round. I guess Rashad Penny is kind of interesting, fellas. I guess he is kind of interesting. You can kind of talk me into Rashad Penny if Chris Carson goes somewhere else. The Seahawks wait on a running back until, like, I mean, they don't have a first-round pick. I mean, if they wait on a running back until, like, round... The thing is that if they don't sign a running back in free agency, I don't see them waiting until after day 2 to get a running back. But if somehow they did and they went with like a 4th round running back, then I'm back in on Rashad Penny. He's a guy that has a really good. He looked dope coming out of school. You know, he was kind of the big man on campus over at San Diego State. He was sick at San Diego State, and then he came into the league and just, I guess, like, injuries kind of piled up. I'm not sure if it was ever, like, him just, like, not being efficient. Darnell Mooney's very sick, but I just would need something better at Chicago and at QB for Darnell Mooney. Evan Ingram, I'm not very interested in. I think that the Giants are going to be... I'm not sure if Kyle Pitts will even be on the board when they pick, to be honest with you. This guy literally is only rocking out with 2 running backs. He has 3 tight ends and 2 running backs. Wow, this guy M. Davis is a bozo. You don't, like, fellas, let me give you guys a little lesson on best ball real quick. If you have Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, you do not need Ryan Tannehill. In fact, if you have Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, you only need one, and then Ryan Tannehill. That's probably a good way to go. Where'd this guy go? Same thing with tight end. If you have Mark Andrews, you only need one of these guys. You only need one because... if Mark Andrews gets hurt, then you already lost best ball. You're shooting for 100% upside. You can't go super safe and be like, oh, but my quarterback, my tight end, I don't want to take any zeros. If one of them if any person on your team gets hurt in best ball, you're done. So, like, don't even plan for, like, injuries, I guess is what I would say. Just plan for, if everybody stayed healthy, the perfect case scenario. That's kind of just what you have to plan for in best ball. Because if you start hedging your bets and stuff, now you're shooting for 3rd place. When at that point, what the fuck are we doing? You play to win the game. If Michael Carter's available when I'm on the board, I can't take a 6th running back. I think that's a bad move. I have to go anything but running back. Not even gonna look at. I would like Rondale Moore. I think Jamison Crowder is interesting. I think Christian Kirk is very interesting. I think I will take Christian Kirk if he's on the board here, because I do think the AJ Green signing that just happened. See, now we can talk a little bit free agency. With the AJ Green signing that just happened, I think it's a scenario where now the Cardinals aren't really looking to upgrade wide receiver. I think they're just going to get AJ Green. They're going to have Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald's going to be dust. Maybe he retires. But I think now this means that they're not going to draft somebody, and if they do draft anybody, it'll be a tight end. So I think that Christian Kirk has a pretty good chance to be out there in 2 wide receiver sets. It feels like it's like the 3rd year in a row that I'm like trying to make Christian Kirk happen. But if you're going to give me him in the 12th round with Kyler Murray in his 3rd year, I will take that all day. Wow, James Conner in the 12th round is a really good value, bro. Wow. I probably would take James Conner in the 12th over wherever the fuck I got Jeffrey Wilson, to be honest with you guys. James Conner's a really good pick. I think he's going to sign one of these next few days on a team where it's like, okay, he's probably going to be the lead bell cow. And they probably will draft a running back like the 2nd or 3rd round, but I think James Conner has a chance to be kind of what Carlos Hyde was for Nick Chubb his rookie year. You know, first 8 weeks of the season, he could put up some decent stats. How many Colts does guy Mac-tastic have on his team? Yeah, T.Y. Hilton and Mike Pittman. Is he going to take Marlon Mack at some point? Like, I feel like the Mac-tastic has to be because of Marlon Mack, but who knows? Wow. Ryan, who are the other quarterbacks available? Derek Carr. I was about to say Derek Ebron, Daniel Jones. I'm going to take, if Daniel Jones is on the board when I am up, who are the other quarterbacks? Let me just see quarterbacks here. Is there anybody else Yeah, I think I'll take Daniel Jones. Okay, bet. I was about to just wait for my pick to come up, and there it is. Wow, a lot of Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston. I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys Jesus, dude. If you guys are these deep into the video, I really appreciate it. Let me know down below though. Is who's starting, Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill? I think it's gonna be Jason. I think it's gonna be Jameis Winston. But I don't know if he'll make it 16 games. I think Sean Payton might have to like pull him or something. I don't know. It creates a lot of weird energy for Alvin Kamara because I showed the stats. I believe I showed the stats in my free agent live stream video, which if like once like Juju gets a landing spot, Galladay gets a landing spot, Fuller gets a landing spot, I need those skill position guys to get more landing spots. then I'll roll out another free agency live stream because I had a lot of fun, bro. You guys pulled through. We talked some shit about the free agents and we chopped it up. I like having those live streams with you guys, man. I'll probably start doing. I might do some mock draft here or there in the live streams. I just wish that I had a way to live stream with this camera right here, but that's my phone. And I'm not at a spot on YouTube where I can live stream through my phone yet. So make sure you get down below and subscribe, man. Help a brother out. We're really trying to get this channel up and running so that we can kind of put out actual content. You know, they're fucking. I can't live stream through my phone without 1,000 subscribers, but I can live stream on my laptop. I don't know, bro. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Hold on, I need to get my charger. Are we up? No, sir. Jesus Christ. There we go, fellas. Loki just shook the room. Yo, my bad, fellas. I don't know why. Okay, now we go. Or here we go. Now we're charging. My bad for shaking the room. No pop smoke. Duel. So we got Crowder, assumed to be ex-Jet. I think that Crowder kind of gives the Jets the ability to upgrade at wide receiver because they can just get another wide receiver, instantly cut Jamison Crowder, get $10 million back, and they can pretty much upgrade Jamison Crowder by only putting like $2 to $3 to $4 million on his cap hit already. So I don't see a world where they don't do that, to be honest. But I think it would be interesting to see Jamison Crowder go to a team. Who needs a slot? He went to like Miami. Maybe Arizona. But I think Kirk probably is a good slot receiver, and Hop plays the big slot sometimes, and Fitz plays the big slot sometimes, so scratch that one. Who else needs like a slot guy? Maybe New Orleans, maybe Pittsburgh. Houston literally needs everything. John Brown, the Las Vegas Raider. I am kind of a dumbass for picking Darren Waller, fringing on the idea that with Nelson Aguilar gone, he's like kind of the only wide receiver there. But they did just get John Brown, who's probably like a 1-for-1 replacement. And I would probably say that John Brown is better than Nelson Aguilar. I'm not sure if that's a hot take, but I think I would say John Brown's better than Nelson Aguilar. So now we're set at QB, set at running back. So it's time to just take wide receivers, tight ends the rest of the draft. That's what's going on here. I don't even want to see anything else in my site. Wow, these tight ends are getting rough. I think I'll take Adam Troutman. If Adam Troutman's there when we're up, I'll take Adam Troutman. Adam Troutman, I love it. He's a player profiler sweetheart. Yeah, he has Captain America as his fucking player headshot. 3 picks away. Yeah, Adam Troutman, literally Captain America, 6'5", 255. Second-year guy out of Dayton. 4'8's a little bit rough, but he's very agile, kind of like Dallas Goedert. Absolutely shredded the competition at Dayton. He just looks like a solid tight end, man. What did he do in it? Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm not really interested in Cole Kmet. Would I rather have Cole Kmet or Troutman? I think probably Troutman. Oh, shit. How fast is Cole Kmet? 4.7? That's very interesting, bud. I do think Cole Kmet's interesting. Oh, Austin Hooper, though? Yeah, I'll take Austin Hooper all day. Yeah, 100%. I don't even really like Austin Hooper. Dude, if anybody that works for the Cleveland front office is somehow watching this video right now, please free my guy David Njoku. Fun fact out there for anybody that wants to know a fun fact about me, I guess. David Njoku, he went to high school like 40 minutes away from me in New Jersey. Both his brothers went to this school. I literally follow Charles Njoku on Instagram. Charles Njoku's his youngest brother. Went to a school like 30, 40 minutes away. We played them in our school played them in the first round of states. Got absolutely murked. But yeah, now he plays at UCLA. Evidence Njoku, the middle brother, plays at UCLA. They're both balling at UCLA under Chip Kelly. It's very weird. But David Njoku, yeah, man, he comes from he lives like he's from New Jersey. He grew up like a half an hour, 40 minutes away from me. Would love to see them free David Njoku. He is literally like, if you want to talk about like how crazy Kyle Pitts is, man, David Njoku is like, as a prospect, he doesn't have quite the production numbers, dude, but in terms of like athleticism and just being crazy, he averaged 20 yards per reception in college as a tight end. Like, I can't even explain how insane that is. All right, so we got our second tight end. All right, so now we're just looking at running backs, wide receivers. I'll go James Washington here. I actually really like James Washington. I think that he's going to be a guy that I probably target late in drafts, as I just did now. But the Steelers, I think Juju is gone. I just don't think that there's a way for them to keep Juju. It seems like I saw a report that like Rappaport put out or something where they're saying maybe they're like trying to reach out to Juju. I think he's coming to New York. We'll see how this ages when I drop this video. But they just can't re-sign him. A lot of weird stuff with the Corvette shit last year. And here's the thing, dude. I will cape up for Juju all day long. And I will not cape up for him in the idea that y'all should get off his dick and like let him make TikToks. Nah, bro. He should definitely chill out. He should stop giving teams. Like, don't go to a team like the Bengals that are like fucking 3-11 at the time and dance on their logo and give them bulletin board material. Go into the stadium, win the game, and then dance about it in the locker room. But I can separate his like weird shit with TikTok and like him actually being a talented player. His first 2 years in Pittsburgh, he was sick. His time at USC, great prospect. He's only 24. He's as young as like Terry McLaurin. I know that he's been in the league for a while, or not for a while, but like 4 years now. We're kind of like, oh, like this is what he is. Dude, he was like a top 5 dynasty tight end after his dynasty wide receiver after his second year in the league. And was viewed in like kind of like pretty much a similar light that DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown are right now after their second, like going into their like second and third seasons. Like he was that boy in Dynasty. So I'm just not really ready to write him off yet. And I have heard Peter Howard was talking about it on with Matt Kelly. He was talking about saying pretty much that Juju Smith-Schuster with Antonio Brown, he was used as like a little bit in the slot, but he was primarily an outside receiver. Then when they get Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. This year, they put him in a position where, like, in the year in between that, so year 3, he was, like, hurt the whole season. They had Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges. This season, though, he was put in the slot. His ADOT was, like, super low, and it's hard when Ben Roethlisberger when he's not running routes in the intermediate to deep parts of the field like he should be and used the way that he should be used. That's why he had, like, almost 100 catches, but he didn't even crack 900 yards because he was just getting the ball at the line of scrimmage, just getting dump passes and stuff. He was getting used like Jarvis Landry pretty much, which isn't really his strong suit. So I think if he gets a nice little change of scenery, coach sits him down, tells him, hey, bud, when we walk out, like just stretch. Just literally stretch. When we win, you can go in the locker room and make your TikToks. That's all he needs. Which I'm kind of shocked that Mike Tomlin didn't pull him aside and be like, hey, bud, this is getting out of hand. Regardless, so we have Saquon. We should maybe add another running back. I think James White's very interesting. I think James White's kind of interesting. I think that Keyshawn Vaughn. I'm kind of down to take Keyshawn Vaughn here. If Keyshawn Vaughn's there, I'll take him. But yeah, man. I was going to say, Big Tilly for March Madness. Today, the first 4 is going on. If you haven't already, if you made it this far in the video, and you haven't joined the Discord and then gone into the Discord and joined the March Madness bracket pool that I'm doing, you're a bozo. I'm kind of kidding about that, but what I'm saying is, man, just join the Discord. We have a good time in there. I'm I'm just happy about March Madness, dude. It's just sick that, a year ago today, or not today, like a year ago, March Madness was getting shut down. They were doing, dude, this time last year, they were doing, 2K simulations with the March Madness shit and the ESPN stuff, and just the bracket was literally simulated last year, bro. just such a tough look. And now we finally get it back. I feel like it's the only major sports event that got postponed like fully. All right, what are we looking at here? Is Keyshawn Vaughn? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keyshawn Vaughn's a guy I really likes coming out of college. If they just roll with Ronald Jones and Keyshawn Vaughn, I don't know. I've been pretty stubborn with my Ronald Jones sucks takes. I'll be honest about that. But in a vacuum next season, would I rather have Ronald Jones or Keyshawn Vaughn? I think I would probably rather have Ronald Jones. I do think that Keyshawn Vaughn is probably the better prospect. I think that he's a good player. I just like you can't faceplant like he did in his first season. He had like 200 yards from scrimmage. You can't do that. And then I don't know. For me, I really weigh the first year. But I said about Justin Jefferson too, which means that he should be my wide receiver 1 in Dynasty, but he's not. He's like my wide receiver 4 or 5. I need to see it one more year. Give me one more year of Justin Jefferson. I do think that he's great. I think he's a great player. Let me just see it one more time though. So now who else do we got here? We have how many more picks? 2 more picks or 1? Yeah, 2 more picks. So now we have to really look at roster construction. We have 2 quarterbacks. We do not need another one. 2 tight ends. Is there any tight end like worth even like maybe adding? No. So now we have running backs, wide receivers. Do we need another running back? No. So I think that we'll just take 2 wide receivers here. Especially because we have to start 3 of these wide receivers every single week. We'll take 2 more. Kobe Myers. I think Tylan Wallace. Traquan Smith is very interesting now that Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Am I an idiot? Did Emmanuel Sanders... Oh, we're on the clock? Let's go Tylan Wallace. Yep, we'll take a flyer on Tylan Wallace. I think this is a great value. It's like 17th round for a guy that'll be like a second-round pick next year. Or in the draft. Tylan Wallace is like my wide receiver 9. But yeah, slick dude out of like Oklahoma State. Great possession receiver. Kind of plays like Odell Beckham a little bit. Now, it doesn't have like super... He's not going to take a slant to the house, but he's like a 5'11 guy that can win in the air with like contested catches. He is kind of a slot guy, though. He kind of does play like Odell Beckham, just not... Like Odell Beckham without all the juice. Like Odell Beckham when he was a young kid, like insane athleticism. But Tylan Wallace has like a similar play style to him. He did have like a sick screen pass where he ran it to the crib. Why not? We're in the 17th round. Why not hop on the YouTube real quick? Two. I hate these, dude. I hate these. I don't even know what the fuck these are. Like random. I think they're bots. They just put random shit like that. So make sure while we're here, make sure you check out the 2 new. I put out 2 March Madness videos. Had a lot of fun putting them out. Figured why not? We'll put out some March Madness video. We'll sprinkle in a little bit of football. We'll get back to kind of diversifying content a little bit here. I also kind of want to do like a Madden series, you know, or like a 2K series where I like kind of go through like a my career or something like that. You know what I mean? Where is this play that I'm looking for? Dude, it can't be this hard to find it. It just can't. How far away are we? How much time do we have to find this clip? Oh, we got time, fellas. I just want to show you. Dude, this clip is so sick. Oh, yeah, it's against Iowa State. It has to be. Yeah, it's literally that one. He did this in his junior year before he tore his ACL, I believe. Beast mode touchdown. That's what we're looking for. Beast mode touchdown. Why can't I just search up Tylan Wallace beast mode touchdown? Look at this. Goes out into the flat. Bang. Get trucked. Now he's going crazy. All the way to the crib. At least I hope so. Oh, I hope so. Hey! Dude, he's sick, though. Played at Oklahoma State. He's a guy that I really like. He's a tier 3 receiver for me. But I will say that he's a tier 3 receiver for me, and tier 1 only has Jamar Chase. So, it is what it be. Let me know. I wish that I could do a Dynasty mock draft, kind of like how I do this, but they don't have, like, I'm not going to do Dynasty best ball drafts. That's like a huge commitment. What could I do, though? Yeah, I just need the Discord to grow bigger, and then we can just, once we can have the Discord big enough to the point where I can just have 12 guys in a sleeper room, bang, we're buzzing at that point. What time is it? 2 p.m. Bro, if hopefully I can stream later on today. I have a big or I don't have a big one, but NBA Top Shot's got a huge pack coming out today. $230. They're gonna be all-star, like, moments from the actual fucking all-star game in this pack. I can't wait. I've been super, dude. I haven't been able to just live stream Top Shot in so long because I've just been so dry with my pack luck. To be honest with you guys, I've let you guys down. My fingers, I just haven't been able to. I haven't been able to will myself a pack, man. I haven't been able to even get the ones where they did like 3 different releases in one sitting, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna drop these so like everyone gets one. I didn't even get one. I was sat there for all 3, and not only did I sit there for all 3, bro, but when I tell you the dedication to this channel, bro, because I not only want these packs for me, I want these packs for you guys, so I can sit in a live stream, open them, have fun with you guys, talk with the subscribers. To the point where I'm in the middle of a DoorDash shift. I will stop everything, stop the order, stop making my money to pull over, parallel park real quick, get out my phone, wait in a queue for 10 minutes to find out that the top 30,000 are getting a pack and I am 121,000 in line. But I love doing it every time for you guys. Also for me too. It has been helping my bank account a little bit, but withdrawals aren't even a thing yet, so has it really been helping out my bank account that much? If anything, it's probably been hurting it at this point. All right, so what are we looking at? Kobe Myers, Hunter Renfrow, Traquan. Kobe Myers, Hunter Renfrow, Traquan Smith. I think out of all of these guys, who am I interested in? I think I'll go Traquan Smith. Why not? He's like my favorite like late round wide receiver to take. Now I do believe I'll put my face in the top right. I'm thinking. But here's the final squad, fellas. We got Mahomes, Daniel Jones at QB. We have Saquon Barkley and a band of fucking misfits for the rest of them. We got Michael Thomas, Claypool, Will Fuller, Denzel Mims, Kirk, James Washington, Tylen Wallace, Traquan Smith at the wide receiver positions, Darren Waller, and Austin Hooper. Let's look at it from this fucking perspective. Here's the squad right here. Let me know, fellas. How do we do? This was a weird, like, I'll say this is like kind of like an ultra balanced approach. I don't usually go this way, but Saquon Waller, Michael Thomas, Patrick Mahomes, Chase Claypool, Fuller. Now I wish I could have stacked Patrick Mahomes with another Chief, like a McCole Hardman, like a Demarcus Robinson. I would say Sammy Watkins, but he's not there anymore. But you guys know the vibe. All right, so now we're in here. Team exposure. I have 2 guys from New York Giants. I like that I don't have 3 or 4 of anything else, but you kind of in best ball you kind of do want to stack stuff, and I'll start doing that now that I think about it. Kind of stack and think like if I got Mahomes, I have to come back around and get McCole Hardman, just so that when McCole Hardman has its really big boom games, Mahomes also has its really big boom games, and it just creates kind of an advantage, I guess. But that's a draft, man. I enjoy like kind of sitting down here and just putting my thoughts into the mic, spitting some game to you guys, you know, kind of whining and dining, you know, subduing the subscribers. But as always, man, if you made it this far, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate it. I love you, man. I love the community we're building here. We're at like 567 subscribers right now. I would love to hit 1,000 by the time the NFL draft happens. But I think it's gonna be a really tough number to hit. We'll see what happens. Make sure tell your bud about it. Tell your mom about it. I'm very good with moms. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you sticking around for this video. Let me know what you guys want to see in terms of like NFL content, NBA content, draft content, anything like that. If you want to see me, like I said before, if you want to see me do like a seasonal content where I do like my top 12 running backs or seasonal leagues like way too early, something like that, let me know down in the comments down below. As always, you can follow me at @RonStore_ on Twitter. Join the Discord at the top of the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Thirsty, trying to choose. I mean, I know I'm pretty cool. My nitty bag, my kitty boots. I got the juice,